Hey folks, we are going to do some cartography tonight for the upcoming adventure that we're going to be publishing online for Eberron, Crystals of Mabar. This is our... Oh boy, what is this? Hold on, let me check my signal and find out which one we're on. We're on episode 135. Hold on, let me check my signal and find out which one we're on. Hannah, that's fantastic. So episode 135 now of this ongoing adventure that we've been producing. Hold on real quick. Let me post to Twitter that I'm live. I thought I'd queued that up already. Apparently I had not. So give me a hot second here. You can follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney. We'll get this thing up and running here in a hot second. If you follow me on Twitter, I am now publishing that I am live. And you can follow me at Phil Kearney. There. This. Burp. There. Officially live now. Egg salad. Let's see. So, who am I? Hey, I'm Phil Kearney. I create role-playing game supplements and illustrate them and write them and do layouts for them, all as PDFs that I publish online. I've been investing my energy in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. There is a link, there's actually a number of links in the description down below to various 5th edition D&D things that I have already published. They're all 100% free previews, so you can check them out if you like the content that you see, if you like the artwork that's in there, and if you like this channel, consider making a purchase to support similar behavior in the future. Let's see, here to here. Yep, I'm live on Twitter now, and let's get our screens in place. Here, bump. You can hit the subscribe bell icon to support the channel in general. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I hope that you become one of them. So this is the cover that we produced. This is episode 135. This was made back around episode 40. You can go check in the playlist if you want to see how we built this out. It's symbolic of various locations and activities that occur throughout the adventure. So it's actually a pretty good cover. If on the tail end you look back at the cover, you'll be able to cite different locations and activities here that you have likely DM'd or encountered as a player. So pretty proud of that production. It was really fun building that with everybody here as well. Right now, this is our village map that we've been working on. Here's an example of one of the roofs that needs to be painted. Here's the interior artwork space with encroaching nature into it before we build out the floorboards. When we had previously left off, we were working on completing the tree limbs silhouette for obstructions where you would be able to hide behind, and that would support the canopy of grass or canopy of leaves that the DM can lift off or drop back on depending on where characters are positioned in relation to this village. You can have various creatures hanging out underneath the canopy, so when the characters go to engage them or if they spot them, you can lift off the canopy and reveal where they are on the map grid amongst the trees, providing potentially partial or even full cover. So we've finished all of these branches. That's where we left off last time. Right now, we are now going in with the canopy that we had created with us a few sessions back, this outline of a canopy. We are now going into the tree line to build out this tree, to build out the foliage line that denotes underneath the tree or not. And so there's the canopy. So we are currently outlining the canopies. We'll do one of these, and then maybe we'll do something else, like maybe like say interior building floorboards. How exciting is that? Boy, floors. Or perhaps we'll do rooftop tiles. That might be a fun thing to do. All the little gritty bits that's got to be done when you're building out maps, so that folks know what it is that you're looking for. The asset's only as good as its image recognition, so got to make sure you build yourself a good looking place. Once we finish this map, we're going to build a separate farmhouse. It just represents a generic farmhouse. that the characters can investigate. If there are farm folk in the vicinity that they want to have a conversation with, you can populate a random farmhouse with random citizens. And if the team wants to long rest in the community, one of the plot hooks is that a family of one or more of the characters is part of this small community, and they're looking for additional people to come settle. So they offer you a plot of land if you'll show up, and so they can build you a farmhouse. But obviously you have family in the area that has a farmhouse already, so you can use that farm. You can use whatever that farmyard vignette is as where your family was at. That would logically be where you'd be doing your short resting while you're in town, or long resting while you're in town. So we got to build that out. These little bumps and rivets throughout the color patterns, the little blobs, they make for good roundage to paint variation around. We're using a, what is it, a 3-pixel brush right now. I'm going to get rid of the grid pattern so it doesn't get in the way of the work that I'm doing. This 3-pixel line is thick enough that I can do some minor variation and movement and still, for the most part, properly outline what it is that we're looking at. Hello, hello. If you are new to the stream, welcome, welcome. Be welcome to say something. Hello. I'll be here. Thank you. I need to set my timer. We'll be here for about 100 minutes today. I'm going to chop that up into 20-minute blocks of time. Make sure I'm not hyperfixating. That's the right word. Make sure I'm not hyperfixating on any particular item. We're working on. Ooh, I finished my loop. That was fast. Clean up there. Perfect. So we're just doing some outlines right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. Once we finish those, we will probably start tiling this roof and add in the other roofs to the other buildings and just start dropping tiles on. Then we'll go into the interior and start coloring up the floorboards and then the assets, all the little icons, things that you can move around, little objects, interaction things. Right, so back on task. I'm having a great time here, folks. I hope you are too. Had a really good time this morning creating Commander Crux for the Spelljammer Adventures in Space Lattice Zaraxis conversion guide that we were creating. Building tokens for all the NPCs and creatures that are in the adventure. So if you buy the conversion guide, you're also buying all the token assets that you need for Lattice Zaraxis, either just line art for print, or if you wanted to print out, you could obviously do so with the color tiles that we're making. That are intended for virtual tabletop, but could absolutely be printed if you chose to. But we offer super low resolution, pure black white token art, very basic, so that if you're using toner, you don't eat through too much black, and don't eat through too much black toner creating this, but if you have a laser printer, it absolutely does a great job for being able to print these things, because it is just pure black lines. There's no grayscale or even subtle gradations going on. Just pure text, black and white. If you want to get fancy with color, you obviously have that option. But it's fun. This is the first adventure that I've put together myself, front to end, and it has been a learning process for all the just creating the thing, the language that that Andy Headley and I had used. Andy does a lot of Call of Cthulhu horror type stuff, adventures. So he was a really great guy to connect with for what this adventure is, which is basically zombie horror, underground, death ritual, Cthulhu kind of stuff, which is perfect. Right guy. And then working with Stuart Braz on the editing. He's been a marvel. We're about, I'd say about 2/3 the way through edits at this point, and once those are done, I'm hoping the Light of Zaraxis Spelljammer conversion book that we've been creating in the morning, I'm hoping that's going to be out the door and published by the time Stuart is finished with edits, so I can just drop that and pick this up and then move into the layouts mode for this adventure and start breaking down page design with you guys. That's going to be I've not done layouts for an adventure before. So I'm really excited about that process and what treasures we discover along the way. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If this kind of stuff is interesting to you, definitely like and subscribe, because we probably have another 200 episodes of this that we're going to end up doing. But boy, it's going to be cool when it's done. I've got a lot of works that I have on the DMsGuild. I mentioned that in the intro, but again, you're totally welcome to check all that stuff out at no cost and just get an idea of the kind of ideas and the way that I design things and the kind of artwork that I produce inside of books. It's all there for you to take a look at. Hey, Hernetico, it's good to see you, my guy. How you doing? Boo-doo. This is actually pretty quick work. There we go. I'm intimidated by it, but I believe we're going to be getting into rooftops today. I don't know why rooftops are so intimidating. I think it's because it's just an intrinsically boring surface that I want to try to make interesting while also having image recognition. I know I've already done a lot of that work in the cemetery, so I should feel pretty confident about it, but yet I don't. But I've just about ran out of things to do on this map that are I've been hiding inside procrastination. So nigh is the time from which we climb upon the roofs, and boy, I really ran out of steam on that one. Just like that, just shut down in the middle of me saying it. You see that? Like I tried to do a bit there, and then it just like immediately died. Cool. End of days. Donezo. Now we can move on to this one. And then we have just 1, 2, 3 smaller ones to do. Shouldn't take much longer to do. Hoping to have it done. We're gonna click through our 20-minute cycle here in a few minutes, and I am hoping to have all these trees done in the next run. I miss the 10-minute turns in D&D. If I were to build my own game, I think I'd want to bring that back. I think 10-minute turns are just a great idea in general. To be able to break up actions, like characters can do whatever they want, one turn at a time. And then a DM can determine if it's going to take more than one turn to complete a task. So you have like a round, a turn, an hour. And then you have a day. Well, it's actually, there's a round, and then there's a minute, and then a turn, and then an hour, or even 2 hours. The way that I break it down in Spelljammer is in 2-hour blocks. So, you could have a shift, maybe, like 8-hour shifts. I don't know. Hey Nitro, what's up, dude? No kidding. You're really Nitro. Your players are enjoying the town. I gotta hear about this, man. That's fantastic to hear. Oh, got it. They're still en route. Great vacation spot. Imperfection. Almost there. Stay on target. Blurp. The 3 pixels is just wide enough for me to have a little bit of wibble and variance along that line and not really have it impact the silhouette, the color silhouette of the clumps in general. Boop. As long as I'm being careful. There we go. I spy imperfections. That is not the mode we're in right now. We can hunt for imperfections later. And besides, maybe there is just a miraculous little patch of sunlight that breaks through there. It happens all the time with trees. Miracles happen all the time with trees. I was walking home and there's a little pond. The complex that I live in is behind the mall here, in Everett, Washington, just north of Seattle. And there's this cool little pond that there's always just shitloads of ducks and frogs that hang out at, right next to the, like in the space between the mall and where I live. And it was so adorable. There was traffic suddenly stopped in both directions. It was because a mom had jumped out, a mother duck had jumped out with 6 little ducklings following behind her, and all the traffic just stopped so she could beeline across the street to get from the giant thicket of bushes that apparently she was taking care of the kids, and they're now big enough to go to the pond. So the duck was walking the kids to the pond across the street. It was so adorable. It was ridiculously cute. I saw I think it was a gopher crossing another street the other night, and I've seen rabbits and just obviously stray cats. Just a really wide, endless squirrels, raccoons, some possums. There is all sorts of critters that just love running around up here, and it is wonderful. I absolutely love just random Disney princess moments of random critters chirping at you. Super cool. There's a particular pair of ducks that know if they hang out near the dumpster, they'll get fed random trash and food. So I try to make sure that, popcorn or dry croutons, they fucking love dry croutons. So I always try to give them something healthy to eat and try to lure them a little bit away from the dumpster, because there's gonna be broken glass and stuff, but they just go where they know they can get the high calorie content. And there's a little bit of a turf war that's going on right now between a murder of crows and a couple seagulls that have been coming by lately. And when I actually lived in Seattle proper, there were just outright gangs of pigeons and crows that would fight out on street territory on an almost daily basis. It was super freaking cool. And seagulls are just like so big. They just terrify all this. They're like, oh, we're out of here. We can't handle this. Like anytime a seagull lands at a kill or a particularly juicy sandwich that got dropped on the street, it's like, I am the Lord of Death. And all, like, crows are like, and that pigeon's just like, ah. They all run like hell because it's just such, like 5-foot wingspans. The really big ones are ridiculously huge. Just huge birds. They used to chase after the ferries because you could throw Cheetos off the back of the boat, and they just follow, like a whole squadron of them would just follow the boat, waiting for somebody to go to the vending machine and buy Cheetos or Fritos or plain Doritos and come out and just flick them off the back of the boat. So there's just a constant swarm of them that would just be dipping down to grab little pieces of whatever the hell it is that you're throwing off the back of the boat. I think they have sonic emitters now, the birds here, that gives them a headache, so they won't come around anymore. It's a damn shame, because it was fun just jumping on ferries with only the intent of just feeding seagulls that would just kite the ships. It was so fun. So much fun. Haven't gone whale watching yet though. But they don't get close. Well, unless you're gonna ram your ship, they don't really like to get close. So I don't really, with my vision limits, they're not obvious targets for me unless they crest. So, but I hope Murder wins. What's your plan for grass texturing? Oh, there. My plan is to have you check out 4 episodes back. That's when we put in the texture. Give you a look at it here real quick. Obviously, there's a worn path going towards this tree, so chances are the mayor and the sheriff would hang out there, maybe drink ale or shit at the end of the day. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's got natural wear paths for wear and tear for where people would logically be moving through the environment. There's even skid tracks here with a little patch of unbroken that would be between the spokes of the wheel, or different lanes as it were, and then patches of area that don't get as much foot traffic. And then it's thicker and more robust, choppier the further away from the village you get. Super easy texture. It was a lot of fun to do. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, overall, I mean, there's not much left to do with the groundwork here. I'm pretty happy with it as it is. It's a little patch of stuff that's trying to be there, but it isn't really. So yeah, once we finish these outlines, we'll be able to bounce down. I keep the layer off so that my vision doesn't get interrupted as much. Where am I at? Bum, 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 bum. Oh my God, we're almost done. Awesome. Keep it up, Kearney. So yeah, once we finish these outlines, I'm going to actually start working on the buildings again. Start actually coloring them. Probably going to work on the roof. I've been procrastinating long enough. So we should at least get started on it. My brain start processing that information, and probably won't have to spend a lot of time on it. I've got a strict end time of 9 o'clock here, so I got about another hour and 20 minutes left. Trying to transition into an earlier bedtime so that I can start integrating exercise in the morning before I stream, which means that I'm going to be getting up at 4. Fuck you. But that, we're going to give it a go. It's the best time of the day for me to do to hit the gym. So I have one here on campus with me. And I have access to it. It hasn't been part of my daily routine, and it really needs to be. And I set, like I was talking about at the beginning of the year, for those that were tuned in back then, that I made a New Year's resolution to integrate gym work into my life routine by July 4th, and it's been simmering. Oh my God, this isn't done. I thought I'd finished all these trees. All right, well, apparently we have a tree we gotta fix still. Mother Hubbard. Hopefully that won't take but a few minutes. We're going to complete these loops first and see where we're at before I decide to go back and fix that tree, because I'm going to end up fixing that tree. I'm going to end up fixing that tree. It's obvious and official. I've been having the past 6 months, I've been having such an incredibly difficult time with daily fasting. It used to be super easy, but something happened. I don't know what shifted, but something shifted inside of me that's making it really difficult for me to hold off eating until 2 o'clock. And that is where all of my maintaining my weight was at. So I am slowly gaining weight. So I have to counteract that before it becomes a problem that I don't want to ever have to go searching for new clothing. So I have to start shifting gears here pretty fucking fast. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really uncomfortable in my clothing. So when I feel uncomfortable, like when my clothing doesn't feel right, I don't buy new clothes. I just make sure that I lose weight so that I'm willing to wear them still. It's a simple strategy. Maybe it's a little unorthodox. Shouldn't be. Apparently I have to come in and I have to break this stuff up a little bit. That's a little too textured in the wrong color to remain unbroken like that. So I have apparently another bit. I thought I'd caught all of these little artifacts out here in the ground, but alas, earwax, I had not. So we'll clean up this tree and then we'll bite into that and then we'll know to move along. I'm thinking for Dragonlance, I'm thinking the team starts with I think you start at first level, and then the adventure I think proceeds through. Is it through 9th anyway? The thought is that originally the team goes through this prologue thing and creates reasons why you would know this dead guy who has absolutely no relevance to the rest of the adventure other than as a narrative plot point. It just is a reason to gather. He's basically the inn or the tavern that the team meets at. But then during the first chapter of the characters being active outside the prologue, you're in this town and you're supposed to use the town at, there's like this war game festival thing going on as like a reenactment of securing the terrain for whoever it is that ruled the town at the time. It was a military exercise basically, so it's a battle reenactment that they're proposing as a celebration of that piece of history. And then during the reenactment, they get attacked for real by the dragon army. So my thought is, instead of having all of the prologue about how did you know this guy, or maybe you did know this guy, instead of having a prologue about how you know this guy, have it that he used to be the commander of your platoon, and that your whole platoon is there to honor him because he recently died. And it just happens to coincide with this festival thing, so his whole platoon is there to act as to reenact the one of his famous battles or something that secured that town for Solamnia, and then lo and behold, it's a trap, and then you guys get ambushed. But from this perspective, it's the captain was specifically killed specifically to lure your platoon to that town and have that reenactment so that they could catch you with fake weapons while they use real weapons and attempt to slaughter your platoon as a mass assassination attempt. And that is part of the first wave of the dragon army invading. So that's an idea I've been kicking around to get you guys into a squadron, into a platoon, immediately from character creation, so that the war campaign can be a true war campaign from beginning to the very end, where you're just amassing a larger and larger amount of troops to command as you go through the different acts of the adventure and process through the board game pieces of the Dragonlance saga, as it were. I apparently have some trees sticking out of this foliage. I was okay with it once as a one-off sort of thing, but it is now too common for me to let it go. I'm gonna have to come in here and also trim down this tree a little bit, and apparently there are some nagging bits here that I hadn't fixed, so apparently we're going to do some custodian work tonight after all. masterfully and professionally procrastinating, working on the roofs. I know, I am a professional. I'm aware. I think there's some chat happening, but I haven't been able to break my eyes away from my squibbles here to check out what's going on. Give me a hot second here, guys. Hey Joe, after giving my party that anti-druid heat metal sword knife, I'm very tempted to bring in a single druid NPC that isn't hostile to them and you just help them just to tell them. Right on. You could have one stuck in a tree, being attacked by bar guests or hellhounds, or a swarm of undead at the base of the tree. He's got druidy stuff that would probably make it really easy for him to hang out in the tree. And if he's not a true druid, he wouldn't have wild shape to run away, or he could be first level effectively. I mean, NPC don't have the same class. They don't have NPCs don't have classes, so they don't have to have the class features that a druid does. They're just, I guess, quote unquote, a druid. Not really a druid. Always checklist. I always check out the idea of a druid being excommunicated because of a belt buckle. Maybe he was a cowboy and that belt buckle means a lot to him, like it was a championship buckle or something. Ironically, he was the horse during that championship. What is up with that? Did you see that? You see that hiccup in my frames per second stability? That was freaking crazy. There it is again. I have FPS spiking issues. What the deuce? Oh, OBS wants to do an update. That's right. I've been avoiding an update, and now I am being punished by them by dropping frame rate. You guys are douchebags. You don't need to update this. You shouldn't have to force me to do this. That's what I hate about businesses, man. It's the one thing I don't like about using the current Photoshop. I could always just gear up the 3.1 again if I really want to go hack simple. Not a fan of auto updates or depreciating performance if you refuse to update. That's what pisses me off the most. I'm happy with my software, thank you. Fuck. So annoying. At one point in the Dragonlance campaign, there's it's like 40 or 50 goblins that are basically sieging a gnomish inventor's home or her laboratory, and she's been using gnome auto gnome shock troops to defend her property, but it's basically they're just trying to starve her out. And they're just basically squatting on the place until somebody comes up with a good idea on how to circumvent the golem defenses that she has. But and then the team rolls up, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it kind of hand waves the battle, but I think that would be such a great I think that's just such a great opportunity to really flesh out and showcase platoon mechanics at that at the 50-foot scale. And at that point, you'd probably pack in around maybe 100 troops. So it could be a potentially really cool option. Your team coming in from behind to cut the goblins off while they're trying to cut off the gnome. So you're basically rescuing the gnome. The gnome gives you a place to squat for your team to recuperate, for you to get your bearings, get some equipment from her as the adventure dictates, and then sally forth. But or like at some point, you know, the team gets buzzed by a dragon, but you could like actually have like 40 archers take shots at it, and depending on how badly you damage the dragon when it sweeps by too closely, you can it'll affect its presence in the future encounters. I dig that. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be super fun. Gives me very much the Greenest in Flames playtest vibe when we were originally testing the squadron mechanics. It looking at it and plotting out considering the DM components and how, you know, what to do with the characters. All that stuff has a very similar feeling to it, and that's very exciting because that was such a positive experience. For the team to have enjoyed commanding squadrons like that at first level. It was super cool. So I'm looking forward to really leaning into that with the Dragonlance campaign. God's willing, we'll be able to continue publishing stuff on DMsGuild or something to be able to manifest that as a market product, because I just think it's a freaking great idea. Anyway, right now we're going to go into the canopy and we're going to drop its opacity like that. Go back over here. I think we can probably just shift it. Yeah. That worked just fine. Apparently I just nudged it some way for some reason. Some way, some reason. Oh god, that is choppy as jank. Alright, let's go in here and fix you. I must have been really tired when I thought this was done. Look at that, expertly avoiding that rooftop. That's what it takes to be a professional, folks, to be good with procrastinating. Seagulls outside screaming. I know you can't hear it, but it's super cool. can't believe I thought this was done. What? God, I must have been like freaking tired. Well, I'm just gonna pop again. I can hear it. I can hear it. It's loading up. It's loading up the alarm. I listened to a great essay today about the Terry Gilliam movie, Time Bandits. I loved that movie when I was a kid. I still love it. It's a great film. If you haven't seen Time Bandits, you should totally check it out. But they were pointing out how much it's how much disdain it has for marriage, and how there's always conflict between the mother and the father, if there was a mother present at all. It was an early 80s movie. So divorce had become more mainstream over the past decade in America, particularly. And it was a British film, though. I don't know what marital trends were in Britain at that time, you know, being Terry Gilliam and all. But it certainly lined up with the living experience that I was having in suburbia America at that age. I would have been let's say it was 82, something like that. And neglect was the name of the game with kids in corporate America. So that really resonated with me. I had a very isolated childhood. The light blinds me so much; it's painful. So I'd stay inside in the basement like a mole person, constantly buried in 50 pounds of Lego pieces, building towns. We had this great carpeted basement, and it was always really cool temperature in the summertime, so it was great to hang out there just in general. But the carpet was that really super short, almost to like the point where it's just like spongy padding. It's perfect for Legos because the pieces can't get caught up in any long hairs of it, long hair carpet. But base plates could slide, like the large plates where you build buildings on, slid almost frictionlessly across the floor. So you could build these big platforms, like tank structures, and just fling them at each other, like fling it into a wall, and just have it like skirt across the ground as fast as a little kid. You could throw it across the room. You have one friend like 10 feet away over there on the garage floor, or on the basement floor over there, and so you both should have had a point buy. It would have been perfect, but we'd stack up Lego pieces to build like these super tanks, and then we're just crash derby, blah, smash. Super cool. We could have actually gamified that for reals. That would have been super fun to do. I mean, as little kids, you just want to smash shit and go, oh, look how they smashed into each other. That was awesome. But as an adult, I want to point structure it and have like each type of Lego as a different point value, and you have like a 500 point build to create a micro tank to you know, that's me. That's how I think. But at the same time, these platoons are kind of like that platform that you have a certain number of squares that you can build out your troop onto, and depending on how many troops you have, it depends on how they're going to occupy that 50-foot square space, or if you're upscaling to 500-foot or a mile. Those are basically the 3 ranges you can realistically have with a medium-sized creature army. And so it keeps scale stays pretty normal. It's actually coincides really nicely with what we already have built for Spelljammer and Infernal War Machines. It's just the 1 mile scale is like for like an entire army, like a huge freaking army. But yeah, I think that's really funny, noticing that parallel just now. That's really cool. But yeah, smashing Legos was the bomb, dude. I love that. What a great way to lure kids into the basement to hang out with you instead of forcing you to go outside and play ball. Because we could always get into our house and there was always low temperature there, so if it was too hot, that was a means for me to be able to lure friends into my geek space, even though I wasn't a sports kid at all. There are always ways. There are always ways within ways. That feels pretty good. Let's hand that down a bit. That feels good too. Hand that down a bit. Oh yeah, it's janky as F. Janky as F. Blip. Blomp. There. Luckily, these things are clipping along pretty expediently. Beep, 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 beep. Smash. God, so cool. It's impossible to break the Legos. They pop apart so much, like you just can't break Legos. All you can do is just make them fall apart. It's awesome. Such a great toy. As long as your kid doesn't choke on them, man. Freaking fun forevers. All right, that one is done. That is good. Let's go down here. There we go. Janky. Janky. Let's fix this guy real quick. Oh yeah, I was definitely tired here. Cheap craftsmanship, Kearney. You're supposed to be doing roofs now. Here you are fixing trees. If you had done this right the first time, you wouldn't have to procrastinate. You can't make me do rooftops today. No rooftops today. Hiding our trees, trimming and sharpening our branches into sharp sticks. My platoon of ultimate badasses will protect you. what a horrible branch. What are you doing, Crane? What you trying to do with your life? I'll do like that. Oh. Birdie's coming. There's something trying to get out. I can feel it. I can sense it. It's present. You are welcome here. Anything you want to say? There's a movie called Prince of Darkness, and it has the it's a horror film basically about a pillar of dark energy that appears in a church next to a college, like MIT or something. So they have some techie scientists coordinating it off and studying it, and it's a pillar to hell, basically. It's like a communication, like a radio signal communication device with hell directly. And when people hear its signal, it drives them mad, and they end up, murder. At one point, Allison Cooper's in the movie briefly, and at one point he plays a hobo, and at one point he stabs somebody with a bicycle. And if you can't visualize what that means, you really need to see the movie Prince of Darkness just so you can watch Alice Cooper stab somebody with a bicycle, because it is worth the journey getting there. But on top of it, it's just a cool film. I won't spoil the ending of what the message and stuff is, but it kills a bunch of people in the process of trying to tell you the point. That's technically unrelated to anything else that we're talking about here, but I feel a signal, so that's the first thing that popped in my mind when I fed the signal through a processor here. Not that I have evil forces trying to speak to me or anything. Just it's that same sort of. Well, if you haven't seen it, you don't know, so never mind. Kind of has that same sort of that same sort of staticky vibe. That's a lot of branch. I'm gonna pull that in a little bit. Cooper stabs a guy with a bike. I love that. That's my favorite part of the movie. It's absolutely just classic. Oh, and that guy dies. He dies. Oh. Cannot survive the bicycle wounds. It literally stabs him. It's so great. And Allison Cooper, let's admit it, Allison Cooper makes a great hobo. He looks like, you know, he's spent some time on Skid Row. No hate to you, buddy. Just it's just, you know, it's there. Ding, 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 ding. Like that. We good? We good. Is that alright? Is that alright? Now I just gotta fix over here. Like the actual reason we came over to the stream in the first place, that's what, yeah, we gotta fix that. And then we gotta go fix that dirt. Knock this down. Yeah, it's 8:20. We still got 40 minutes. Something coming through. I can sense it. God, it's crawling. It's trying to find its way up my channel. Like there's this cascade of energy that's rising from the base of my spine through my up my spine. It is a strong surge of energy, and I get it occasionally when I start autopiloting on artwork. I can feel its there's words attached to the actions. And I've grown sensitive enough to allow for the motion to flow through. But I'm only just now starting to become familiar with the words that are attached to the intention. So there's a process of me allowing myself to the same freedom of expression as with words as I have with moving pixels around, in that I can turn off my brain and just let it feed information output. That's what I'm attempting to achieve, is get to a state where I can have output. I was starting to ramp into it about 3 months ago, and I got a little gun shy about it. So it backed off and quieted down for a little while, but I can sense its interest. It's not an urgency. It's like that anticipation, like when your favorite cousin comes to visit, you know? Like, I love you, and it's been a long time since I've seen you, and we're gonna have so much fun together, and I'm not there yet, but I can't wait until I am. That same sort of excitement. like how these branches are turning out. They're very nice. I know we've already spent a few sessions doing branches. It's just, I apparently had just rushed through this at some point. Or maybe I had intended on getting back to it and I sidetracked myself. Hard to say. That's where we're at now. That's what we're tending to. Hey, timely timer, keeping us in time. You're right, timer. I have been on trees for a long time. I need to switch up soon. Let's see if I can just finish this little scraggly bit and then maybe we move on to something new. Maybe. I don't know. The less I run this show, the better off we're all going to be for it. Checks all the boxes. Looks pretty good now. Bingo Blitzo. I think there's just one last thing. Yeah. Oh my God, what dog crap. What a bunch of dog crap we have over here. Oh boy. Yeah, look at all that slop. This is just, I was not done. I don't know what I thought I was doing. Well, I guess it led us to this moment here now, so cheers to that. You could be choosing to fall through any time space that you choose, but you chose to fall through this. So thank you for being here with me here in this space now. This song. No, I think we're going to work on the Treant tomorrow. There's in the Lazaraxis character tokens, there's The second breath is living tree. It has a trinit that's growing out of it. Trinits are basically trebuchets, sentient trebuchets. They're stuck to the tree, to the boat, but the boat, you know, trees are stuck in general anyway. The other. Oh, looking over here. That's pretty good now. Okay. A lot of this is pretty good. I apparently attempted it. This is, yeah, anyway, I gotta get over myself. This stuff is, it's just not done. Regardless of what I thought. It isn't. Hey, a big shout out to the folks that have been signing up with me lately. It's been really nice seeing subscriptions growing. It's I guess for lack of better input, people think this stuff is cool. So I'm really glad that some folks are finding some interest in this, despite my long bouts of silence and random chaos. It's nice to find new folks that think this stuff is cool too. That gives me a lot more confidence that the stuff that I'm building is would be well received. I think is what we're getting down to. Is appreciating the process and the folks that are involved with it. A whole nother branch needing love. How about that? Is this the only branch that remains that needs love? I would hope. I desperately would hope. Let's fix that. That's pretty good. Slop. All right, this is a small little branch, so I can fix this one up fairly easily, and then hit that other. Now it looks like that other branch is the only one that really needs tending to on this tree, and then we'll scan the rest of the area to make sure we're good. And if we're not, we'll just keep picking away at what I thought was done. Check, check, check. There we go. Good. Do. Birdie's coming. Ooh, all that stuff looks really good. It looks like this is, oh man, you see that crappy tree over there? Shit. So apparently 2 dogs in this neighborhood that just really hate each other. I know you can't hear it. It's just absolutely just pitching fits at each other. Oh my god, look at that. So scraggly. Hello, Paul. Your mother says she loves you. And that school is not a problem. You're welcome to go where you please. You don't have to homage anything. Or go out of your way in any manner. Rapier sword, a bayonet, a musket. Hey, if you're new, checking it out, appreciate you being here. You're welcome to drop hey in the comments. Let me know what's up. you're a D&D enthusiast, definitely let me know what you guys are getting into these days. I love hearing about shenanigans. This is a Eberron adventure that we're creating. Some of y'all may be fans of Eberron. Some of y'all may just be here because of the art. So give me a second here. We're almost done with this tree, and then we'll back out. I think we should be doing pretty good. We're still here for another 20 minutes. Our last 20 minutes should pop here in a moment. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, okay. So yeah, there's some scraggly shit going on here. That tree looks pretty good. Grab some water real quick here. How are we doing here? 5 minutes left on this block, and then we'll pop. Okay, we're looking good. Up to it. Hop, 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 hop. Let's get cracking. Fix this tree. So we'll be able to get these trees finished. Probably not in this session. I'm being driven. Hold on. There's something going on. I'm supposed to back out of here for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. Where am I supposed to go? Okay. So I guess I'm going to be finished with trees for now and commit to finishing those on my own time. And I guess we're switching gears over to building interiors. So I'm going to stable. Boy, I don't know what just punched through me. It was something just audibly in my head said stop and go. So I am doing this now. Because that is the agreement. I'm just going to block these in for now and we're just going to do whatever it says. That's what we do. That was the deal. Oh yeah, there was that patch. I needed to go take care of that patch. Hold on, let's go do that. Before I lose sight. Was it down here? Where was that? It was up here. Reveal your secrets. Oh, did I lose it? God, spin the guts. It's out here somewhere. Heck darn it. There's no way it was here because I was out in the. This is frustrating. I said I'd get back to it, but now I freaking lost that terrain issue. I totally believe this happened. This is the way. Break that up a little bit because the fractal patterns are distracting. There we go. Just have to smudge that out a little bit to break it up. See, it's too much of a pattern. It's interesting enough that it's going to grab the attention of players unintentionally. So, yeah, there it is. Thank you. So that stuff can't stay too much intact. It's probably a bad choice in hindsight. Whew. There we go. Good. Found you. Last 20-minute stretch. Put that stuff up a bit. Look at this old ape. This must be where he lives. Bum, bum. Too much. Do something result. Ooh, God, that's ugly. We'll fix those fences. We'll fix them fences. Stuff up a little bit. Okay, cool. That feels about right. Let's get back to the task. Well, we're able. There. Let's see. Let's go to Horse stall. Give me a grimy, grungy horse stall. That's probably the most realistic one yet. Image. Damn tootin'. All right, let's get shitty and gritty. What kind of brush do we want to use to make this bullshit? Horse shit. Shit. Let's do that. Let's take this way the hell up. Let's flip out the same brush, 100%. Push into here. We'll use the same brush again with eraser. I feel like I've been here before. This is very deja vu-y for me. There we go. Let's drop down to 80%. Yeah. We'll stipple that down. I don't even know what that is. Get out of here. So I turn into a smart property somehow. Or a smart object. Rather. Yeah, not bad. What? Hold on. What the hell is going on? Oh, thanks, Michael. Hidden highlights. It's kind of dirtying up the floor a little bit, you know, the way that horses do. A little gritty in there, so it's got some discoloration here and there. Look at that pixelation, dude. That is some choppy graphics going on. I'm going to have to update OBS. Gonna make me do it. Bong. Good. Right on. Nice. I love how that looks. I don't want to record it too much, but I don't want to overemphasize it on accident. So I'm just going to add it a little bit on 20% down here. That feels better. Just discoloration, just a little bit of stainage. That's kind of what we're looking for. I am Mr. Stain. Merge down. Bloop, bloop. Smudge that out. I think I'm starting to get a hang of this. So we can drop the opacity here. Merge down. Next one. Fill that in a bit. Trace that out some. There. Good. Almost done. Like for the day. I'm gonna be checking out here in a few moments. But hey, we're working on the stables. That's good. We're making progress. And I'll dirty up this last corner and then, well, shit, we got two more. All right, well, we are at 9 o'clock. We've got a minute and a half left. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the brakes on for now. We're starting to get into it here. So I'm gonna actually think about dropping this down a bit. Maybe just let that bleed through just a little bit, just to get some interest going there. Kind of like how that sits. To start. Let's drop that opacity down a lot. All right. That is our timer. I'm going to bounce through here real quick with a low percent eraser just to chop it up a little bit. Super subtle, but I don't want it to be left unsaid. Let's come through and scrag out that grass a little bit. But yeah, so far so good. So we will come back on. We'll come back and do this some more on Thursday. And for tomorrow morning, we'll be back and we'll work on Starbow the Trent for the Lattice Araxis token art that we're producing. And then we'll be back tomorrow for Martial Powers at lunchtime. That should be, I believe, at 12:30. So that'll be in 27 and a half-ish hours. We'll put in maybe 2 hours worth of Martial Powers classes. Anywhere from an hour to 2. We'll see where we sit. But yeah, we'll do some of that, and then we'll be back Wednesday and then Thursday mornings, and Thursday evening we'll be back here again. And then Friday and Saturday. Saturday we'll continue work on the Reclamant book cover that Joseph Vargas Ukulele Bard had commissioned. And let's see. Yeah, that's where we're at. So thanks a lot, guys. If this is interesting to you, you want to see more of this stuff in the future, like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at Phil Kearney, Patreon as well, Phil Kearney. Otherwise, if you know where I'm at on the Discords, I'll see you there too. See you on the other side, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. Bye.